Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another video on our Audi RS3 8v2. If you would have watched some of our other videos, you would have seen we were at Clive Atho tuning. We're back again, getting the last bits done for the handling kind of package, ready for our track work hopefully later this month or early next. If you didn't know, we have done a number of things. You'll see from the previous video. If you do want to watch it, I'll ping it up in the top right hand corner for you now. We have been doing a few things that are recommended to help this car turn from a decent road car to a bit of a kind of track beast, give or take. I say track beast, you know, something that would be more akin to going around track a much more accomplishly. Basically, we've put a anti-roll bar, rear anti-roll bar from Whiteline, as well as some other bits on there from Powerflex, and that's a Dogbone mount, which basically goes between the transmission and the back of transmission and links to the motor as such, so it stops vibrations and any too much roll movement from the front end, and it really helps with turning and things like that and response of how the kind of steering feels, and almost like the tyre communication would be from the front. So it makes a really good difference. The standard tyres on these cars are P0 Rossos, which are really poor. I have changed those in between videos basically, and we've now gone for a Continental Sports Contact 7, which I massively rate. There's reviews out there from tyrereviews.com which are epic, saying how good these are, and to be honest with you, I made my own assumption on that, but thanks to his video, it's made me have the confidence in going for something like that. For me, it's an ultimate street tyre. It's kind of a really rounded, incredible car that expels water really well, great in the wet, but great, more importantly, in the dry. Dry braking, dry handling, incredible. So that's the way we've gone with that. The last thing that we need to complete the kind of handling package, so to speak, is brakes. Brake systems on this car can cost the absolute earth, because the standard brake system on it is, on the front certainly, is 370mm with an 8-pot caliper. But when you go and push them on track, apparently literally they'll fade from literally one hard lap. So for me, it reeks of the fact that the OEM pad is very poor. In my opinion, a caliper like that, yes, it's not going to be as good as an AP racing caliper or something like that, but it's an 8-pot. It's big. With those discs, it should be decent, especially if we put a good pad in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see how that works out. We've gone for this PBS Prorace pad. They work good from cold. But they work very much like a track, almost like race pad. They're called a Pro Race pad, but I'm kind of assuring you, or at least I will go for a drive and I'll kind of let you know. But based on looking at the spidergram of the kind of properties of this pad, it looks as though they'll work very well from cold and will take the extremes of, you know, track performance basically. So we've gone for them. We've heard good things about them. There are pads out there that are twice, 3 times as much as them, and that's what we like about them. For value, for how good potentially they sound like they are, that would be great. So let's just see what they're like, and I certainly give you the feedback when we go on our track. And to put them together with something else, a must for any car, we've gone for an all-round front and rear braided brake line from Hell Performance. So that will just complete the package. Yeah, we've been testing the rear anti-roll bar. I haven't done a drive video for you, but I'm going to. But we've noticed that in hard acceleration and hard braking, you can get a bit of a wallow and twitch on the hardest setting on that rear anti-roll bar. So we were contemplating going to the softer setting, but we've noticed that when you put the pressures up on these Contis, it does work better once the tyres are hot, and it doesn't seem to then do that wallow so much. Turning is much better, and the car definitely handles much better because of that rear anti-roll bar. So we're probably going to leave it on the stiffest setting, see how that works at track. Maybe while we're on track, maybe get the car up and see if we can maybe put it soft and see what the differences are. But anyway, that is basically what we're going to do. Let's get on and show you a bit more about how it goes on and whatnot. If you've got any questions, as always, hit us up in the comment section and we'll be sure to answer you. Anyway, watch on and enjoy the video. Dale, because Dale's getting on with all the other stuff actually. One of the things we noticed is that there's not a wear sensor indicator. Obviously there is on the standard car, but there's not on these pads, hence why they're probably relatively cheap. They're unsophisticated in that sense, but obviously for the money you can't complain. Because of that, we're gonna, I always say this, Dale's gonna solder basically a little the sensor on there effectively, so we've got one onto the new pad, and yeah, good. But yeah, I'm just if you want to know what I'm doing, this is what Dale done last time as well, and he does it every time, which is good. Not everyone does this. When you're doing things like, you know, discs and pads, just cleaning out the little holes, so like almost ventilation holes, there's little holes, just put this little thing through it and just clean it up. OEM pads, sim better days, as I did say, they have got like this, as they've got sensors on them. We've had to kind of solder and trim the new PBS pads because they don't have sensors in them. It means that it won't have now the sensor on it. It's just been kind of soldered out, so it means that it won't detect it. So it means that you won't see when it's in a low millimeter situation. But in general, yeah, they weren't in terrible condition, but they are getting low, so they can just go straight in the bin. But yeah. Right, so that is the end of the video. I know it was a bit of a short one, but it's kind of more an update for you guys more than anything, and it gives us and you a chance to kind of you know, talk, and yeah, for you to throw questions at me if you've got anything you want to ask about it. Like I say, braided brake lines, PBS pads. We're gonna you probably would have seen that we've put the that set of pads onto a stock disc, which has done, you know, quite a lot of mileage. They're in a decent condition. They've probably got a good 10,000, 15,000 miles left on them, I say. Not with me, probably driving, not a track day. They might probably last, in all fairness, one track day, maybe 2 or 3. I don't know, we'll see how they fare up. But the pads, it'll be good to see what they feel like in comparison to stock. Because obviously there's a stock pad on there and they're relatively worn, they're probably going to need quite a good bit of bedding. 2 scenarios and ways of doing it. You can do kind of 60 mile an hour punch stab braking. So you go from 60 or 70 mile an hour to about 50, 40 mile an hour. Just quick little jabs off, up to 60, 70 mile an hour, jab down to 40 mile an hour, let off. About 2 or 3 of them, and then let it cool down again. Just give it a while to cool down. Repeat that process about 2 or 3 times, probably 3 or 4 times even, and then let it rest, and then do it again. That whole cycle, probably again 2 or 3 times. If not, you can just let it bed slowly. Just try not to get too much heavy braking. Just little kind of normal kind of braking. Try not to do any excessive force, no track days, etc., and just let it bed in that way. But it's up to you. But anyway, if you've got any questions, as I said, hit us up in the comment section. As always, like, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.